What's a podcast? I like your show.
How did I get here? Welcome to the Shipe Sports Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Matthew Shipe.
Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Just keep going? Okay.
It's just your headphones, probably.
All right, my headphones are broken.
I'll get you set as good. I'll fix you up.
All right, I am your host, as always, Matthew Shipe. Thank you for joining us, always with my co-host, producer, Paul.
How's it going, Matt?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm stuffed still.
We're all still stuffed from turkey?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Just keep going. Okay, I'll be taking my headphones out. Sorry. We've had a week off, so we're trying to get everything back. To my left, always my co-host, Christian Rivera.
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
And across from me, as always, David the Coach Shipe.
Hey, good to be here.
Chris Cordova is not with us today. He's actually enjoying nice 80-degree weather over in Cancun.
Gotta love that.
So good for him.
Good for him. Great for him.
A lot of big things happened while we missed the show last week. The Washington Redskins are now in first place of the NFC East. So
Slow him.
good for them. Good for them.
Who would have
That's good to see. Yeah, who would have thought that?
Week 13.
Week 13, they're in first place, fighting for the division. They got a big game this week with their Cowboys, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Our weekly fantasy segment, Start 'em Up Fantasy, we'll get into that right after this. And then Christian Rivera will bring back his NBA and one segment that he missed 2 weeks ago because he was not with us. So
Yes, sir.
talk a little Kobe, maybe talk a little Golden State Warriors.
Yes, sir. Breaking records every day.
And then we're talking about the college football playoffs. A little change again this week.
Yep.
Another new team at it. Iowa's in it. I
Yep,
believe
I think,
Ohio State's out.
Think deserving.
So big week in college football coming up for these conference championships. You know, if Iowa can, somehow beat Michigan State, they're in it. So we're going to start off, as always, with our Start 'em Up Fantasy segment. So we'll get right into it. First off, we'll do our quarterbacks. My start of the week is going to be Tom Brady against the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, you saw what Matt Stafford did last week to the Eagles. I mean, he torched them. I mean, it was the worst. I think it was the worst loss of Chip Kelly's career, I believe, as an Eagle coach. So Tom Brady, he's lost weapons, but for some reason he still knows how to roll. You look at last week's game against the Broncos. Broncos have a good defense. I mean, everyone's been struggling against the Denver Broncos. So I don't really take that for granted. Stafford struggled this year, too, and look what he did last week. So I'm going to go with Tom Brady. And my sleeper this week is going to be Matt Hasselbeck of the Colts. Undefeated as a starter for the Colts, playing against the Steelers defense that made Russell Wilson look like an all-star last week. Pro Bowler. I'm sorry, we're NFL. Talk about Pro Bowlers. So those are my quarterbacks to do for the week. So, Christian, let's get to yours.
All right, so for my start, I'm going to go with my man, Killer Cam, versus the Saints this week. Him being a very...
You going to dab it up?
Dabbing it
You're
up
dabbing
all
it
day.
up?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. But, I think Cam is going to have a field day against the Saints. The Saints have been pretty bad defense most of the year. And Cam being the kind of, the player that he is, that he can run, he can pass, he can do it all, I think he'll definitely get you a bunch of fantasy points. And my sleeper this week is going to be Alex Smith against Oakland. Oakland has been notoriously bad on defense, especially their pass defense this season. And while Alex Smith hasn't, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Chiefs don't pass the ball too much, but I feel like he's going to step up this game.
Past couple weeks, he's done pretty good. I mean, Macklin's getting more involved now. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. Macklin had a great game last week.
Kelsey last week. So, I mean, they're starting to get it rolling down Chief land.
Yeah.
Coach, let's go over your quarterbacks.
I think I'd like to start this week would be Jay Cutler versus the 49ers. Jay's had a couple good games the last couple weeks, and I just think Jay could have a good game this week versus San Francisco. I don't think they're as good in the secondary as they should be, but we'll find that out. Jay will find that out also. Sleeper, this could be a real sleeper, but Marcus Mariota versus Jacksonville. He's getting his stride. He's getting better and better each week. He's got some good stats there, and I would just go out a little bit, and as my sleeper, I would like Mariota. I like Mariota.
All right. Now we're going to go to the running backs, and I'm going to go with Matt Forte. I haven't really, used him much this year as anything for fantasy sleeper-wise, but pick Cutler. He's going against a 49ers defense. It hasn't really been the best so far this year. They haven't looked good at all. I mean, they lost a lot of pieces, so I'm going to go with Forte, and my sleeper of the week, I'm going to go with Doug Martin. The Buccaneers against the Falcons. I still don't like the Falcons' defense. I mean, they're 6-5 after starting the year. I think, what did they start, 4-0, 5-0, something like that? And they just started to take a turn for the worse. So I like Doug Martin this week. Coach?
Well, I like to go with Jonathan Stewart versus New Orleans. And I go back to how the Redskins had a good running game against New Orleans. And you know, Carolina's a pretty good ball club, undefeated. You know, they've been getting a lot done. And I think Jonathan Stewart would have a good game against New Orleans. Sleeper, Jeremy Langford, Chicago versus San Francisco. He's been ringing it up a little bit. He's putting up some pretty good numbers, and that'd be my sleeper pick this week, Langford.
All right.
Go ahead, Christian. It's all yours, buddy.
Okay, just waiting for your call there.
Man, take it over.
All right, so this week for my starter is going to be LeGarrette Blount against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have been extremely bad against the run since week 9, actually. They've allowed, I believe, 25 points per game for each running back that they've played against. So LeGarrette Blount, I think he's going to do his thing there, have some good numbers there. For my sleeper is going to be, and I might be butchering his name here, Javorius Allen from the Baltimore Ravens.
Sounds about right.
They lost Flacco. They lost their starting running back as well. So, I feel like they're going to have to run the hell out of the ball, and I feel like that's what they're going to do. And the Dolphins also, against the run, have been pretty bad this season. So I feel like he's going to have a good game this week.
All right, let's move on to wide receivers. My number one starter this week, Antonio Brown against the Colts. The Colts defense hasn't been the best. Luckily the past couple weeks they've able to win games with Hasselbeck back there. Maybe it's because the short week or the short field that Luck's been giving them week in and week out when he was in there throwing picks. But I'm going Antonio Brown. I mean, he's the number one guy for Ben. Hopefully Ben plays this week. I know he went out late last week with a concussion protocol, but I believe they said he's probably not playing this week. So I'm going to go Antonio Brown. And also, even if it is Landry Jones going in there, Jones really liked Brown when he was in there at quarterback. So I like Brown this week. And my sleeper, I'm going to pick the wide receiver for your quarterback, Alex Smith. Macklin's been having past few weeks have been getting touchdowns per game, and I really like what he's been doing lately. They're opening up the field with him because since Kelsey's there, Kelsey's short, and then you got Macklin over the top. So I really like how Jeremy Macklin's been going. So Christian, let's go with you first.
Okay, my starter is going to be Jarvis Landry. He's had a great game last week, 22.9 points, and against a pretty shaky Baltimore Ravens defense. I think he's going to have another big game this week, possibly 15 to 20 points in my opinion. Sleeper is going to be Martavius Bryant. I feel like because of the threat that Brown is on the opposite end, I feel like he's definitely shining a lot this season, and he's playing against a Colts defense, which we all know is a pretty bad defense. So, Martavius Bryant.
Coach.
Okay, I'm my starter this week is going to be DeAndre Hopkins for Houston. I think they're playing Buffalo. I think with Hoyer, the quarterback down at Houston, he's been looking for a safety valve or safety zone, and I think DeAndre Hopkins has become that person for him. So that's my starter. A sleeper. In some places he's not a sleeper, but Brandon LaFell for the New England Patriots versus Philly. You have Gronk's out and
Edelman's out, Amendola's out.
Amendola, and
wow.
I think what you're going to get is probably one-on-one coverage versus LaFleur, and with Chandler starting at the tight end now, they may be focusing on him, but LaFleur may slip through and be a nice sleeper pick.
All right, we're going to move to our tight ends, and I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans tight end Delanie Walker. Last time he played the Jacksonville Jaguars, he had a pretty good game. Not only a good game, but the first half, he was racking up the points. So I like Walker. I just read a thing online where some people think he's the second best pass catching tight end.
Right.
And obviously, who's number one probably? Go with Gronk. So
Gronk.
I mean, to say that about Delaney, it's something special. I mean, you're putting him ahead of people like Witten and Jimmy Graham,
right.
and even Greg Olsen. So that's saying something about Walker. I think, just a little bit on Walker. I think when he left San Francisco, it was the best thing for him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He got out of the shadow of Vernon Davis. Like, look, this is what I can do.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm going to pick him this week. And my sleeper this week, he's not really much of a sleeper, but since I'm going with Walker, I got to go with him. I'm going to go Jordan Reed of the Redskins. He's their leading receiver this year. I think he's got the most touchdowns for them, I believe. He's got 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
541 yards. Actually, in that whole game, between both teams, he's the leading receiver. So he's Kirk Cousins' fail-safe.
Right.
The problem with happened last week is, you don't lose fantasy points for this, but he's better cut back on the holding calls because he cost Kirk Cousins a couple big yards last week. But I like Jordan Reed. He runs that fade in the end zone perfect. I always argue the Redskins need a big-time receiver when it was right in front of my face with Jordan Reed. I mean, he's the guy that you can put on one-on-one on a cornerback and just throw the ball up, and he's going to beat them, 9 out of 10 times. So those are my two for the week. Christian?
All right, so my start this weekend is going to be Travis Kelce against the Oakland Raiders. Like I said before, Oakland Raiders, pretty bad team. They've allowed 11 touchdowns to tight ends, which is a league high, and second most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. So I feel like Travis Kelce is going to show up big this week. And my sleeper is going to be Scott Chandler for the New England Patriots. We all know Gronk is going to be out for the foreseeable future. And, a lot of people don't know this, but, Scott Chandler is a pretty big guy. I was actually just looking at how big he is, and he's a pretty big dude. 6'7", weighs about 265. So he's going to be a big dude, a big target for Tom Brady over there in New England.
Coach?
Okay, my starting tight end is going to be Greg Olsen for the Panthers versus New Orleans. I mean, it's just that New Orleans probably, I hate to say this about an NFL team, but probably the worst defense going right now. And I think that Cam at quarterback and Jonathan there running the ball, I think it's going to open up Olsen a little bit more to give some points out of him. Sleeper. Okay, this man has had a pretty good game. I think it was Monday night when the Browns played, but Gary Barnidge for Cleveland. And he's gonna, it seems as though he's been an undergrade target for any of the quarterbacks in Cleveland, and whoever's starting this week will probably be looking for Gary Barnidge versus Cincy.
All right. Well, there's our start 'em up fantasy segment. I want also to announce I'm gonna put another link on our Facebook page. I am doing a DraftKings league this week, 50-person lead. First place takes over. Can I say DraftKings on there? Are we allowed to do that, Paul? Can I get in trouble for that?
No. Oh, well, sorry. No, you can't. You can't get in trouble.
Making sure I don't get in trouble for anything. I don't want you to get fined because I'm going to send the bill to you.
As long as you don't say that they're whatever, then you're fine.
All right.
It's a different. Yeah.
Well, it's a 50-person lead. For top three, it's $1 to enter. Top three gets you money. You get 22 for first. I think, 13 for second, 9 for third. So join the lead. We have 22, so we got plenty of spots left, and it's fun to compete against. You're going to be competing against myself. Coach is in it. Chris has already signed up, and I believe Christian and Paul are going to join. So
how do I get my money?
So
it'll be
in your account.
It'll be my first daily.
It'll be both
of
your first daily, won't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Why not do it with our lead? See how
I don't mind taking your money. I don't mind taking your money.
You're going to take it in our fantasy league anyway because I'm down in 9th or something.
I just want to make sure I look at my account that the money's in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So look for that. And also I want to make a little go ahead and make possibility for Monday. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So I think it's a pretty good chance, I'm assuming.
Yes.
The most highly likely chance we will be doing our second live show this Monday from Buffalo Wings and Beer in Germantown, Maryland for the Redskins versus the Cowboys game. It's probably the biggest game of the year so far. We got the first place Redskins, the Cowboys who are 3-8, and if they beat the Cowboys this week, they could be well on their way to winning this division without a doubt. So we're going to do a live show this Monday, special show, Redskins versus Cowboys preview show, 6:30 p.m. coming to you live from Buffalo Wings and Beer in Germantown, Maryland, the Kingsview Shopping Center. It's on the corner of Clopper and Great Seneca Highway, right next to the Giant. So look for that. It'll be from 6:30 to about 8 o'clock. We're going to preview the entire game. I mean, we're going to have an hour and a half.
Eat some wings.
Eat wings, drink some beers. And with Buffalo Wings and Beer, every time the Redskins score a touchdown, $4 fireball shots.
Nice.
So if you want, what?
Nothing. That's fine.
I know you don't drink fireball shots. Me and Paul will take them, though.
Yeah.
We'll take them for you.
Cowboy fans are welcome. Come up. We'll have a good night. It'll be a lot of fun. Cowboy Redskin fans there. I know there's a lot in the area. Come on up and join us. Have a good time. Get on the show.
I think
give us your opinion.
I think a former co-host may come back out for a one-time appearance. Guillermo.
Oh, nice.
Guillermo wants to come
Guillermo
out.
may come back.
So we may have a little one-time appearance from Guillermo.
Excellent.
So it should be fun. I mean, I think we're going to get a lot of people out there. I think you may see some former guests out there. that have been on our show before,
Yes.
former call-in guests. So come on out and join us. I mean, it's going to be a great time. We had the show we had there begin the season was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh, by the way, that video that Blackman put up on the Facebook site, that was pretty cool. He was
The one-handed-
sidelined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome.
You know what? I forgot.
Bobby,
Because we
yeah.
didn't have the show last week. So
Right.
Yeah, that was nice.
say thank you to our guest, Bobby Blackman, who threw up a video of the sideline. He did a little sideline reporting from the Ravens-Rams game last week, showing Case and Keenum warming up. So it was pretty cool. He had
Garcia
Jeff
throwing.
Garcia in the video. So
Yeah, and he gave us a shout out. That was
yeah,
awesome.
he gave us a
Yeah.
big. He's our sideline reporter for the show.
Yeah.
Because none of us are getting on the sideline.
We're
We're
not
paying
getting that
big
close.
money.
Anytime soon.
Lucky we get
So,
the nosebleed section.
So thank you for that. So look for that. So let's get right into let's go to our basketball segment. Then we'll finish the show with Redskins Cowboys. So we'll do our and one basketball segment with our NBA analyst for the show, Christian Rivera. Christian, it's all you, buddy.
Yes, sir. So
Take it
we're
away,
gonna talk.
Christian.
We're gonna talk a little Wizards, a little Golden State, and of course, I think we all received bittersweet news, I guess, depending on how you look at it, that Kobe Bryant is retiring at the end of the season. So
Great career for him.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry. I'm going to put this out here right now. People are going to kill me for this. LeBron's not on Kobe's level. I don't care what you say or how you say it. Jordan was our 90s generation. Kobe is our 2000 generation.
And
I don't want to hear the arguments of LeBron, Jordan. That shouldn't be an argument. Kobe, LeBron shouldn't be an argument either. Christian, it's all you, buddy.
Yes, sir. So what separates Kobe Bryant and Jordan from great players like LeBron? Because I mean, as much as
They didn't have to leave to win a championship.
not just that, not necessarily that. My thing about Kobe that I think that you have to admit, whether you're a fan of his or not, is that he has that killer instinct. He doesn't play. He's not happy with just being there. If he doesn't win, he's mad and he's angry and that's the kind of guy you want to have on your team. That's the kind of guy who you want to put in the talks with, Jordan and all the other greats.
He also did a dunk contest.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But that's something that unfortunately LeBron has never done, and I think I think he said he'll never do.
So I hate that.
But yeah,
I hate that.
I think watching the Wizards game last night, unfortunately, which I'll get into in a little bit, that we lost pretty close game towards the end there. Kobe Bryant hitting some ridiculous shots towards the end.
Oh, he took over.
Yeah, he definitely took over in the last 2 minutes. Made two go-ahead buckets in the last, which I think he hadn't done in over 10 years, is what I heard.
Of course.
Yeah.
But not only would they go ahead, there were 3-pointers.
He did it against the Washington
Of
team.
course.
There were 3-pointers. Kobe's not known to shoot three this late in his career, and he was just dropping them
Yeah,
like
he
they were
was
nothing.
draining.
Didn't he play awful like the game the night before?
He's playing awful all
apparently-
year. He's been bad.
He's been just throwing it up without even looking.
For no reason last night, he's like, yeah, I'm in D.C. Why not?
Yep.
Why not? Let's just
And-
destroy them.
But what I was gonna say was,
You know why it was? You know why he did that?
Uh,
Because Philly gave him like a whole nice little video and everything.
oh yeah, because he's
D.C.
from
didn't
Philly.
do crap for
I mean,
him.
he's from Philly.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know even though he's from Philly, you saw when, I know it's probably a different sport with baseball, when Jeter, Rivera went on their goodbye tours, every stadium was giving them something.
Right.
You know,
Oh, true.
I like
Yeah.
something like that. That's something like that's pretty cool. I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, it's basketball. I mean, you play.
I mean, to be fair, he did announce it this week, so I guess they weren't ready for it.
yeah, no one was pretty much ready
No,
for
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
I'm sorry, dude. Keep going.
Yeah, no, but what I was gonna say was the impact that Kobe Bryant has on the league is incredible because watching the game last night, the crowd was 50-50.
I
saw-
think it was 70-30
It
towards Lakers.
It might have been 70-30. No, I wouldn't say Lakers. I would say Kobe Bryant. Because
yeah.
I could tell you what, Kobe Bryant is one of those names where you can say almost anywhere in the world and people are gonna know who he is. You know what I mean? He's that big of a superstar. He is the definition of a superstar. And like I was saying, he has that killer instinct, that drive to win, and he's proven it over the years, winning, back-to-back championships multiple times on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So and a lot of people, when Shaq left the Lakers back in the early 2000s, they were wondering, is Kobe the real deal? And I think he's proved it over the years, and he hasn't been the guy that wants to be, I guess a family friendly guy, just and
Oh man,
Yeah,
sorry,
there it
dude.
goes.
oh,
There, you can just.
all right, that works. He's all about winning, and when you talk about the best of the best, that's what it all comes down to, winning. And he doesn't care about all the accolades that everybody else gets. Oh, he's real friendly with the media. He really, I'm sure he's bit of a prick with the media and everybody else. But you know what?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you be after all the allegations he's had against him and everything? I mean,
and another thing, you know, he stayed pretty, you know, pretty clean for the most part in his career, except for, you know, the one allegation which he had, and that's something that pretty much just shows you that he really works on his craft a lot, and he stays out of trouble because of that, you know.
Yeah.
But I want to also shift into talking about Golden State, which has been breaking records like crazy. They actually are now the leader. They broke the record of most consecutive wins to start off a season, and they're 20-0 right now.
Wow.
Record, I believe, was 16. Was it 16? I think it was 16.
For them or just
just to
in
begin
the
the
NBA?
season. Just to begin the season.
Oh, wow.
The all-time record, I think it's like 30-something, 32 or something like that.
33 by the Lakers. But that was actually not to start off the season. That was in the middle of the season.
Yeah, that was in the
Right.
middle. But start off the season with 16-0.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and the crazy thing about it is Steph Curry's playing out of his mind. He's, I think, without a doubt, the MVP so far. I know it's early in the season, but he's the type of guy that will take the ball down the court and just shoot it without any kind of hesitation. And he just makes it look so easy. So and you know, I think he's transitioning into being probably the most dominant player in the NBA right now.
Right.
I mean,
Nice.
I'm sure we
Agree
can
with that.
you know, and he's becoming one of those guys where even if you're not a big basketball guy, you hear at least about Steph Curry because he's doing all these ridiculous things. You know, he's every game before the game he shoots a ridiculous shot. I'm sure you've seen it too, man.
Yeah, he comes out of the tunnel and just shoots a three. Like he's by the crowd, Paul, like near where you come out of the tunnel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and he just shoots beginning of every game, shoots it, makes it.
Yep.
Really?
No sweat.
Yeah, makes it. Not just the shoot. He makes it.
Yeah.
You know, I heard early in the season somebody say, you know, I'd pay money to watch Steph Curry just shoot around an empty gym, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I would too, just
Yeah.
because of the ridiculous things he's doing. You know, he'll shoot the ball. I've seen a video. He shot the basketball, turned over, gave his teammate a dab, and was running back before the ball even went in the basket, and he knew it was going in. He just knew, and that's just ridiculous to me. You know, and you know it's hard to see them losing, to be honest with you. I think they're gonna break the record of most consecutive wins in the season. I think they're obviously the favorite, if not in the NBA, definitely in the West right now, especially with a couple of the teams like the Rockets struggling early in the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're gonna break the record. I think they're gonna do a lot of great things this season. And quick transition over to DC. We had a great win against Cleveland early in the week. We we held everybody else. LeBron did LeBron. You know, he had his I think he had a little bit over 25 points, 10 rebounds. But everybody else was struggling. You know what I mean? J.R. Smith, he's one of those guys where he can either give you 25 points or can give you 2 for 15 shooting with like 5 points in the game. And that's what he did. That's what he did that game. John Wall, I think he's improving a lot. Over 30 points in the past 2 games. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough yesterday, and that's one of the things that's really limiting this team from becoming that elite team is that they lack consistency. They'll win a big, Cleveland being the best team in the East right now. They beat them. You would think they would beat the, I think it's the last place team in the West.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they were 2-14 at the time, and I understand Kobe. I get that, but come on, we have to be more consistent. You can't be arguably one of the best teams in the league and lose to one of the worst teams in the league. And I think that's really
maybe that was their tribute to Kobe,
yeah.
since the only thing they gave him was a basketball game.
Right, exactly. So
Could have been. We won't know. That's a DC thing. It's behind the
Right.
scenes.
So definitely, that's one of the things that I think is hindering us right now from really being considered, even in the East, which is a weaker conference in the West, from the Wizards being the top team. I think we just lack consistency, and hopefully we can pick it up and keep it moving for the rest of the games.
All right. Well, that was our. What?
No. I just wanted to add in there, going back to Kobe. All of the things that have been said, and he's done this, and rumors. Well, Kobe's going to be this. Kobe's going to be traded. Nowadays, to spend, if I'm not wrong, 20 years with one team,
Very difficult.
that in itself
Is
is amazing, and hats off to that.
In all the major sports, you'd probably count maybe the number of people on both
Right.
your hands. That's it.
right.
I think, top of my head, the only people I can really truly think of is Kobe Bryant, Cal Ripken,
Right.
Darryl Green,
Derek Jeter.
Derek Emmanuel Rivera
For what now?
to stay on one team
Stay
through an
on one
entire
team.
career.
Oh, okay.
But-
you can't
yeah.
count that many.
But see, in basketball, it goes back to Bill Russell
Yeah.
with the Celtics.
Right.
Okay, and I could be wrong with Oscar Robertson.
Oh yeah.
With,
With the Lakers, right?
Well, Oscar Robertson started with what, Cincinnati, and ended with no, Oscar Robertson.
Well, if you're saying he started with ended with someone, then he
not
didn't do
some,
it.
but he was. It's just the longevity with one team.
Right.
It's not a whole lot nowadays.
Who's
Yeah.
the Orioles guy?
Ripken.
Ripken. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I
Brooks
wasn't listening.
Robinson.
I was kind of listening.
Ryan Zimmerman.
So
For the
far,
time being.
right now, Ryan Zimmerman. with
And
the
hopefully in
Nationals.
20 years from now, Bryce Harper.
Right. We'll see about that.
All right.
But-
So
That's just my thoughts.
that's our and one segment with our NBA analyst Christian Rivera joining
Yes,
us
sir.
every week. All right, so now we're gonna shift into college football and the playoffs, college football playoffs, and I wish there was something in this room that had an Alabama picture on it because I would throw this water bottle at it. See this? See this? I just like that, right in an Alabama
All right,
picture.
well,
Number
so
two,
there goes the floor, Paul.
okay, this is where I'm getting really irritated about this. I'm gonna go to Alabama's last 3 games.
Go, please go.
Mississippi State, which at the time, they're ranked 17 now, but they hadn't been the best all year. Charleston, South Carolina, or Charleston Southern, whatever, and then Auburn. All right, you see that? They're only one ranked team in that. Okay, Paul, you hear that? One ranked team.
Yes.
All right,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go to Oklahoma's last 3 games.
All right.
Number 6 Baylor, number 18 TCU, number 11 Oklahoma State. What kind of difference do you all see there? Where do you
Higher ranked teams.
do you see where I'm going
ranked
at?
teams.
See where I'm going at? See where
Gotcha.
I'm going, ranked teams?
Following you. Keep going.
All right. Why is Alabama constantly ranked 1 or 2 in this nation? I'm getting okay. Yes, SEC. Yes,
But
we're a
they haven't
powerhouse.
been as strong this year as they
They
have
have.
been.
That's why they shouldn't be up there.
But it's
Iowa
it's
should be ahead of
tradition.
them.
It's the tradition. It's the program. That's what you're getting.
Then you know what I
and
want?
that's why they're there.
You know what I want on this college
I
football
would
committee?
convert Oklahoma up there and put them 3.
I
if
would
had
put
to.
Alabama at 4 and put Iowa.
That could be. Throw Iowa up there.
You know what I want for this football committee, this playoff committee? Get rid of anyone over 50 years old. Get over anyone that has ever been affiliated in the SEC. Get me some people in there from different conferences. Don't even make them even part of an SAD or whatever. Get some young people in there that'll look at the schedule and say, oh, look, Bama hasn't played crap the last 3 weeks. Let's push them down. Put Oklahoma, who's actually played people. And here's the thing. This is what scares you about Oklahoma. They're done for the year. They don't have a
Right.
conference. What if Iowa beats Michigan State and, I don't know, Stanford wins the I don't know, and they just say Oklahoma doesn't have a championship. Let's just bump them out of there. That would be a damn crime. That would be a crime to the Big 12. Were you about to put up a sound bit or something? What is that? What is that? Is that for a dream?
For a crime.
Yeah.
For
It's a
being
crime.
a crime.
Well, here's what you go, and I think this is an outside thing on that. There is, Oklahoma. They don't have a championship game. What they have 10. That's the Big 12, and they don't have enough.
They don't have
teams
12.
to have one.
Hell.
Okay. Well, this is what they're trying to do: push the Big 12 to get 2 more teams from somewhere. But now, if they get,
But
add
don't
2,
punish them.
I
though.
understand, but this is how it gets to it. You've got to know the politics.
The hell with
Okay.
politics.
And if they get them
Sports.
with a game, divide them up into 2 divisions, all right, then they'll say, okay, here's a shot. Now, okay, they are number 3. Maybe they go to number 2. But they're going to sit idle this week, and hopefully,
Bama ain't gonna lose. Bama's gonna blow Florida out of the water.
they're going to blow Florida out.
So
But-
Bama's in the playoffs.
and here's the thing is what they're talking about. Stanford is looking for, and they're hoping that
Iowa loses.
Iowa either loses or beats. Iowa. If Iowa loses, then Michigan State's going to jump into that spot
Yeah.
there at number 4. Okay, they have to hope that Alabama loses. Okay, and Clemson loses in the ACC title game, which they're not going to lose.
No, don't.
That's the only way Stanford, and they have to beat USC really big to get into that top 4.
You know what I'm looking at right now is with this Oklahoma team, TCU 10-2, Baylor 9-2, Oklahoma State 10-2. All teams that Oklahoma has beaten. Let's look for teams Bama beaten. Ole Miss. Oh wait, Ole Miss beat them. That's right. Which at the
Yeah.
time looked like a pretty good loss, but Ole Miss kind of went.
Yeah, if
Bonkers after
Ole
that.
Miss doesn't go downhill after
And they beat LSU, who hasn't looked good since they lost. They beat a Tennessee team who's 8-4. So I'm trying to go with here strength of schedule to where it looks like the Big 12 is not as bad as people think they are. But can the committee think of what happened last year when they said, oh, Bama's number 1 in the nation. We'll put them against Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't have a chance. They lost their starting quarter.
Right.
Ohio State just boat raced them with a third-string quarterback. A third stringer, Chris.
And one of the things that, alluding to what Coach said is I feel like it's almost like Bama has to be there. Because, like I said, I don't really watch college football as much.
Is that about for ratings?
Possibly if you want to go there too. But what I was gonna say was I don't watch much college football, but I do know one thing, that Bama is always there. They're always at least in the talk for
That's because the committee puts them there. If the committee wasn't so far up Alabama's butt, they wouldn't be there all the time. See, I've toned down on my curse words. See that, Paul?
Yeah, you have. That's good.
See that?
That's a good
But
thing.
not the other one. But that's what it is. It's these committees, the stupid computer beforehand was so far up Alabama, their hand was coming out their mouth and they were talking for Bama. They were saying, hey, look at us. That's what it was. And it's just, I want to see something new. I want, like Iowa, Oklahoma, Clemson. Those are teams, they excite me because they're different. Oklahoma hasn't been up there since Sam Bradford was quarterbacking for them. Clemson, have you ever seen Clemson at number 1 in the nation this long? No, Iowa. Where did they come from this year? You never see Iowa up there. You're used to seeing Alabama. You're used to seeing Michigan State, Ohio State. I love this year of college football because it's 3 teams that you don't normally get to see. And the nation don't normally get to see Clemson play that much. No. They don't get to see Iowa play that much. And now you get to see what these teams can do. Oklahoma would definitely be number 2 if they didn't lose to Texas for some odd reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how. They probably would be number 1, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. If the playoffs were to start today, I would have Clemson at 1 still. Iowa would be 2. It would be Oklahoma. And then I may be entitled to put Michigan State at 4 and bump Alabama out. I am going to be the biggest Florida fan this weekend, to be honest with you. I'm rooting for Florida. I hope they pull off an upset. But, I mean, next week we'll have the final rankings. I think they come out Sunday. Sunday we'll find out where people are going to. So, if you don't like Alabama, you don't want to see them, root for Florida and just hope they pull off a miracle. Because Florida, they may be a 2-loss team, but, I mean, they really played the weakest part of the SEC. And that's probably what the problem is the division that Alabama's in is considered the hardest one.
Don't throw Florida along to the wayside. They have a pretty darn good defense down there. Okay? Even though they haven't played the top teams or whatever, but a lot of people give Florida credit for their defense. So maybe their defense will come to play on Saturday.
Well, you know what screwed over teams like Oklahoma is when Texas A&M also left the Big 12 to go to the SEC for some God knows reason.
Money. And Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri left to go. And then Colorado goes to the Pac-12.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it is. But, all right, that's my
that all goes back to Texas.
Yeah. Another college news, Maryland, number 2 in the nation, lost to number 9, North Carolina. Trimble had a good game, but turnovers, he's got to cut back. I mean, they couldn't catch up to North Carolina with the turnovers, so we'll see what. I mean, and people are, they're not as good as they say they are, but people tend to forget North Carolina was ranked number 1 not too long ago. So I mean, you're playing in North Carolina. It's a hard place to even go in and win. If you're a Maryland fan, when you played them in the ACC, more than less, normally when we beat North Carolina, it was in our house. Right. So I mean, it's hard to go to North Carolina and win. So,
and then don't give a little shout out here to the Maryland football, who signed DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator from Michigan, as new head coach.
New head coach. They have a new head coach,
and they're getting somebody young, energetic, good defensive mind, and he has coached under 3 outstanding head coaches: Urban Meyer, T.J. Willingham when he was at
John Harbaugh,
and Jim Harbaugh.
Is it Jim there?
I think it's Jim.
Is it Jim there or is it John?
John is in Baltimore.
Okay, so Jim's there.
Yeah, so it brings some experience.
Maybe John will come over to see what his younger brother's protege sometime.
And
well,
so
all we can hope
for Maryland.
The only thing we can hope now is some of these recruits don't leave Maryland.
Well, this guy here, Durkin, one of the reasons is he's a great recruiter.
Good. Haskin has to stay at Maryland for this team to have a chance in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and then his staff will be determined, but some of the people that he's going to bring in, don't want to say names now because you don't know if they're coming in, but the ones that I mentioned are pretty darn good at what they do.
All right, so we'll see.
This could be something interesting for you, Mr. Maryland football.
All right.
Something to look forward to.
All right, so we're going to jump to our big story of the week, the Washington Redskins versus Dallas Cowboys. We are going to preview them here on the show. But like I said, Monday will be our big special show, so we'll even have more material for you on Monday. So just because we're talking about it now doesn't mean we're done. Monday's going to be a big day to talk about. Isn't that right, Paulie?
That's right, sir.
All right. Wait, those one-liners, Paul. Love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's get into it. We got the last place Cowboys and the
Still
first
full.
place Redskins. Who would have thought we'd be saying that right now?
Not I.
Last
Not-
place
not
Cowboys, first place Redskins. Anyone think we'd be saying that right now? Paul, did you? Nope, not even as a Skins fan?
No, man.
No.
That's
crazy.
it's unbelievable. It's just how like
If you could do it, I have you play the music, but we're not allowed to.
Who's going to be playing quarterback for the Cowboys?
Matt
this week?
Castle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cowboys haven't won a
worrisome.
game since Romo. They're 0-8 without, or excuse me, 0-7
Seven.
without Romo.
Yep.
But ask me how I feel about the game.
Are you scared?
Do I think that the Redskins will actually win it?
Are you scared?
Yes.
Your
You're
thoughts. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm so used to them.
Choking?
It's supposed to be easy, right?
Yeah.
Like this game is supposed to be easy. I think everybody's saying that Cowboys without Romo just can't get it done, and that Redskins should win. But this, like, same thing with the Wizards, right?
right.
You know,
Exactly.
it's a DC team, and you know any team that comes in here that's like hasn't won any game or has been defeated every
Right.
single time, they'll get the first win against
Yep.
a DC team.
Yeah.
That's
You
how it
know.
always is.
So
and I know Cowboys fans will say that they were 0-10 or whatever, 11, Jimmy Johnson's first year, and who is their only win against? The Washington Redskins at RFK.
right.
You know what you want this week as a Redskins fan? You have a dagger in your hand. You want to stick it right through the Cowboys in their season. You want to end their season. You beat them, they're done. You can forget talk. Did you see what Jerry Jones did? We're not going to put Tony Romo in the IR. We're going to save him for the playoffs. So I was the Redskins. I take that as an insult because that means they're preparing to come in and whoop you.
Wow.
They're preparing to beat you. Take it as an insult. Take it. Make them put Romo on the IR after this week. Because they lose this week, Cowboys should just stop. Stop this whole. We're going to save Romo. You're not going to win the division at 9 losses.
So if the Redskins, and you'll probably talk about this, but if the Redskins win against the Cowboys, do they have any other divisional?
Oh yeah, they have a lot more.
Well, they have to play the Cowboys
Twice and the
remember.
Eagles
Oh,
won.
that's right. That's right.
And
okay.
here's the thing about the Redskins. I mean, like I said, we'll go over this more on Monday. But they're the last part of their schedule. They have the
pretty
easiest
easy.
schedule
Yep.
for the NFC
Yep.
East.
Bears,
They got to play the Cowboys. They play the Bears.
Bills.
Bills may be a tough game. Eagles and Dallas. I mean, when they play the Eagles and Dallas, that could be for the division. Those two games, depending
Right.
on what the Giants do. Now the Giants, on the other hand, they don't have an easy road. This week the Jets. They could lose to the Jets. They got the Dolphins. Whatever. Then they got to play the Panthers. Then they got to play the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles. So I mean, they finished the season 2-3. The Redskins, all they have to do is squeak out 3 wins to probably win this division.
Yeah.
Beat the Cowboys this week. Beat the Cowboys again. And take care of business against the Bears.
But that's so scary. They're handing this to them on like they're just like
They
look,
are. But remember what I said during the halfway show that the Redskins, their best case scenario is 9-7,
Right.
and that's what it's looking like right now. It's 9-7, win the division, have a home game, and then probably get boat race. But just have a home game in the playoffs. Give us something to play for. I mean,
Well,
all Redskins fans want. I'm not a true fan here. I'll root for them just because they're the home team. But all we want here is just meaningful games in December.
Yeah.
Give us games that we care about instead of games seeing
Well-
who's going to be the top 5 pick in the draft.
Well, at least
Right.
it's that situation where they're actually playing for
Meaningful
something right now.
games in
Yeah.
December.
Well, this is the first time, in the last couple of years that December
2012.
means something.
Well,
right
even
now.
2012, you can say they were
5 years?
semi-meaningful.
4 years?
4
5?
years ago, 2012, 3 years,
I'm just
because they had to
thinking
go
here.
on the 7-game win streak to make the playoffs. So
Right,
at
and
this
they did.
point, you're like, well, if they lose one, it's over. Now it's like, all right, maybe you can afford a loss or two, but in it, put the
Yeah.
dagger through the Cowboys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kurt Cousins.
He's
Do not lose this guy in the offseason. If he makes the playoffs and goes on a run, you better just give him 2 years, 3 years, give him something. Because I tell you what, if he goes on a run here and takes them to the playoffs, you got a Brown team, you got a Texans, you got a couple teams who are going to need a quarterback, and they're going to throw money for him.
So how much
Right.
how much do you think he's looking at here as far as a paycheck?
He's going to get between
How much is he making now? Do we know?
league minimum. Not
Okay.
league minimum, but not that much.
Okay.
Whatever
Uh,
one of the rookie minimum was,
yeah.
I think at that time when
Yeah.
when he was
He
when
may-
came in.
close to 18 million a year is what they're talking about. He make it 18 million a year.
Nice.
They're talking about some money for him, the way he's playing. I bet you do like that, Kurt, don't you? You do like that. Have you seen the new one who's been doing it now? Is Chris Baker? He's coming off the field. His little, you like that? And it's just like, jeez.
Oh yeah, he's like
You're a scary big
reporter.
man. And like these stupid reporters, man. This female reporter asked, so did you like the way you played this week? It's like, really? Why? Now they're just trying to make him say it.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going to go in there and ask the professional question?
Well,
Let him say I like that whenever he wants.
Doing all this, let's get back to one of the real things here, okay? You talk about the Redskins. We're getting back their road record.
Oh yeah.
Sucks.
Oh and 5.
Sucks.
Okay? And they're playing where? At Dallas. Now, if they're going to win their division, this has to be changed.
Yeah.
And it has to be changed Monday night. If it's not,
Well, they're playing in D.C., so they're not at.
well, their last games, where are they playing at? They're playing at
they're
Dallas this week,
No,
aren't
no,
they?
no. This week they're in D.C. The last
Are you
game's
sure?
at Dallas. Yeah,
Last
I'm
game's at
looking
Dallas?
right at
Look
it.
at the schedule. See, all I got is a piece of paper with red markings on it.
It doesn't have
And,
the fancied screen on it.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got the clipboard here. Wait a minute. No, don't. Let me see that.
They're
That's
in
my-
D.C. this week.
That's my fantasy team for, no, wrong clipboard.
They're in D.C. this week,
Okay, they're in D.C.
so they should win.
Should.
They only lost one game. They shouldn't even have lost the one game at home.
But here's the other thing that the Redskins are notorious for. Even when you go back to the Joe Gibbs era and all them, when there is another quarterback coming in besides the regular season starter, for some reason, they make him look like world number one.
Should I play Matt
Okay.
Castle in DraftKings this week?
and,
It might be a safe bet. That might be a
but
safe bet.
if you've been around the Redskins a long time, this is what you've seen.
Right.
That's true.
You know, somebody that is not the starter. Oh, he's making. But Matt Castle's made a couple starts. Okay, he hasn't done good.
At all.
But now Romo was in for what? 2 weeks, 1 week, week and a half,
Week and a quarter.
making a quarter. Okay, so you're dependent. You know, here comes the backup. That's what scares you when the Redskins are playing a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a team that's supposed to beat.
Well, yeah, that too. But the thing that scares me is it's a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who has struggled every time he's been out. 3 interceptions, 3 or 4 here, and he won't probably throw not a one. I hope he does throw about 5 or 6, but it's just like that with the Redskins.
Well, also what's killing us this week is you got McFadden, who past 4 weeks has done 117, 32, 129, 11 rushing yards. So it seems like he's having good, bad, good, bad.
And this is the good.
This
week.
is good. Our rushing defense hasn't really been there, so you got to stop McFadden. You know what? Speaking of the defense, kudos to the secondary last week. You have Quentin
yeah.
Dunbar, who was a wide receiver in training camp, turned cornerback this week, got an interception.
Yeah.
Will Blackman, who was bagging groceries a couple of weeks ago, got an interception. I mean, you got all these. I mean, Will Blackman was a guy that Scott McClellan knew from Seattle.
Right.
You picked him up, then like I said, Quentin Dunbar, who literally turned to cornerback because of all the injuries they had during training camp. So he was drafted as a wide receiver. He's
Oh,
playing
wow.
cornerback. I mean, the way they played last week. I mean, they sometimes had Dunbar against Beckham, and I think Beckham didn't really do too much. I mean, he had the one
catch.
Well, I mean, it's Beckham. Of course, he's gonna get one of
Right.
those catches a game.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Talking about.
Man down. Man down.
We're going down. He's going.
See? The Redskins here. You want some more water? Here.
That,
Oh, keep talking.
that's that Bama stuff coming into it now. Yeah, it's the voodoo from Bama.
Too much Redskins. They'll get you
All right,
somewhere. or
let's
another.
let's
We know- we
get
know-
back into it. Yeah.
We know Bama's watching.
Who knows CPR?
That's funny. I don't know, but I think it just
Is he
sucks.
around the corner there?
He's probably in
All
the.
right. Keep an eye on him.
He's. It just sucks that
Let's get
that you have
checked
to
out.
say that you feel that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's just always been like that.
Yeah, and you know, I can say as a Wizards fan, it's the same in basketball. You could say the same. It's just a DC thing for some reason. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I feel like DC doesn't have the winning attitude that other cities have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, you know, most I guess successful teams they're not as a big city as DC is.
Right.
There's not as much distractions. You know, people. You know, so like for example, Oklahoma City. You know, in basketball?
Yeah.
Oklahoma. You know, I'm sure there's. I've never been there, but I'm sure there's very little to do there.
Yeah.
Except for follow the rising
Sports
basketball.
scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and the fan bases are also up and down. You know, like they're not as loyal as other. Like you'll see. And I'm just speaking, I guess, in basketball here, but you'll see Oklahoma City game, and Monday through Sunday, that arena is sold out.
Yeah.
Everybody's in there. Every basket they make, everybody's on their feet the whole game.
Right.
You watch a Wizards game on a Saturday or Friday, even on a Sunday night or whatever. Like a primetime game. It's nice and lit in there, but it's nowhere near as it is in some of the other towns. And I think that's what it is. It's the whole atmosphere. It's not a winning atmosphere that we have here in DC, and that's just
Well,
sad.
I think adding to that is you look at the Washington area. It's a big transit area. You have a lot of people coming in, a lot of people going. So you really just in the DC area alone, and even when you get back in Maryland and in Virginia, you really don't get that solid home fan base.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've seen it when other teams, big teams, have come from out of town. That one year Pittsburgh came in and it was all the terrible towels in the stadium.
Right.
And that's what you're getting here in D.C.
That's
It's
true.
a transit city. People come here to work. They get voted in and all this, and everything. And they come in and then whoever state they were from or
And-
area
and that's why-
they bring in.
And that's why we have so many, like you said, Pittsburgh fans, Cowboys fans,
It's a big
it's
Pittsburgh
awful.
area.
Yankees
Philly,
fans.
Philly fans,
And back in the 60s, 70s, and I say about the mid 80s, and when you were looking at Redskins, you're talking about, and people tell you RFK, it literally moved.
Yeah.
I was down there for a Redskin Cowboys game one time. Was it Kenny Houston and Thies when they were all quarterback, and the Redskins were. I think they won that game 21-14, and it ended up on, I think it was Kenny Houston. I could be wrong, making an interception, but at that point, I was sitting in the second level at RFK, and you thought the stadium was coming down.
wow.
I mean, it was rocking. You could actually look down, and people have seen this. The lower section was rocking, left, right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was moving.
Yeah.
Now, the new stadium, you don't get that.
Right.
You don't get that feeling. That game that Matt and I went to, that Dallas Redskins game.
Oh my God, I was surrounded. Literally, it was
We
me
were
and
the
him.
only two.
Dallas. And you know what? Some guy had the nerve.
I had
to
a
ask
Tom
me?
Landry looking like sitting next to me.
I had a one of those
Welcome back. by
one of
the
those
way.
Thank you.
You all right?
I don't know what happened there. I'll talk about it off air. It's too
Is all my water
disgusting.
gone?
No. But I had a Sean Taylor jersey on, but I had one of those little black alternate ones.
Yeah.
Some guy was like, "Is that a Deion Sanders jersey?" It smacked the hell out of you. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I had
Deion
a
Sanders.
throwback Sammy Ball jersey, 33. Guy looks at me and goes, "There's nobody with 33 on." I said, "You dumbass, it's Sammy Ball. You don't know any history at all."
Hey,
It's a
language.
Redskin fan.
But you know what?
That's why I told Tom Landry Jr. to sit down.
Yeah, the hat and everything.
Yeah, he had the hat and everything, but he was
Wow.
all set.
You know what? Talking about other fans that come in here, and DC, even DC area fans that like the Cowboys, the Giants, the
Yeah,
Steelers.
that's where we,
Do you blame them? Do you really blame them
No,
for
but-
going to a different team?
but
for
like
the
we-
way
like-
for what Dan Snyder has done to this team, he's
See,
really turned
Well,
fans
that's true, too.
against the Redskins.
But like Coach was saying, it's mostly, like you said, it's a transit. And I would actually never even thought about that on why there's so many different fan bases here in
well,
this
yeah.
area.
Well, people can take trains to the game.
Not just that, but
No,
people
just
come
people.
here.
Yeah.
Living here.
Yeah, people move here to work. You know what I mean? Or
That's true, but I'm talking about the people that live here, because even with that, you see a lot of Dallas and Steelers fans.
But that's because they move into the area
Well,
or they've
no,
gone
okay, I'm
over
talking
to the
about-
teams.
But I'm talking about people that lived here, and they're
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna start liking this team. But I mean, do you really blame people for that?
Well, you've always had in this area. It seems like you've always had a lot of Dallas fans.
yeah,
Because actually, let's see it.
'Cause you
The
can
Dallas
bandwagon.
has been a great organization since after I would say the third year of their inception.
That's
63
what I'm
on.
going at. Is that people are picking teams that have winning cultures. If you're like someone who's new into football, you're looking at it, you're like, well, I live in D.C. How are they doing?
Yeah,
They
true.
don't win that
true.
much. What,
Yeah,
oh, Pittsburgh is right in. I can drive to that stadium.
Yeah.
They have a good team. Baltimore, they have a good team. New England, why? it's almost like it's just you getting these new people into football, and they look at the Redskins, they're like, well, you know, they don't really win that much. Do I really want to be a fan of a team that loses nonstop?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, me and you are used to having a team that loses.
Well, look at you. You're a Titans fan.
Right.
We both are.
Right.
But hey, at least we didn't abandon them for something
Tighten
else.
up,
though.
baby.
All right, so let's get back to the points that the Redskins need to do in order to sustain and first place. Okay? What they need to do against Dallas.
Win.
Well, besides win.
No turnovers for Kirk Cousins. When
Yes.
he doesn't throw a pick, he's undefeated. When he doesn't throw
They
a
have
pick.
to be at their best. Plus, the Redskins must get that running game going.
They
At
did last
least
week.
average. Remember now, if they get 100 yards rushing, they're 4-1 this year.
Wow.
Over 100 yards rushing, they're 4-1. Okay, and the thing is, Deshaun, if he catches one or two passes, that'll be great. But he has to have the ability, and they have to with Kirk, to at least let Dallas know we can throw the ball over 30, 40 yards if we have to.
Well, he did last
So,
week,
right.
and that
So-
opened up the run game.
But it has to continue. Go for it anyway. If it's not there, just throw it when nobody else can catch it except one of the cheerleaders. You know, that's about it.
And you're going to have Maurice Claiborne. Or what's this guy's name? Is that the cornerback name?
Yeah, Claiborne.
He's hurt. He's come back from hamstring and ankle. He's their number one. They may put him on Deshaun. If he has a hurt hamstring and ankle, tell Deshaun, go for a 90
Right.
to first play and see
Right.
see if you can outrun him.
but
Just send him and see if you can outrun the guy.
if looking at going back a couple of years ago, what Pierre Garçon, if you go back to 2013, and that's a couple of years, he had 11 catches against Dallas for over 100 yards, and if he can get a little bit of performance like that out of him, Deshaun can take it long if they have to, and you got Jordan Reed there. Okay, maybe we could get a good game out of Pierre and catch 10, 11 passes. Let's put a little bit of history back in that and take care of that. But they have to play solid defense. It has to be solid. And with the offensive line, don't go away from them. Give them a chance to go at Dallas. And if they can do that, that's asking a lot. If they could do some of that, you may see a Monday night victory, okay? And we probably have to carry most of the people out of wings and,
Buffalo wings and
Buffalo
beer.
wings and beer. We may have to, they'd all be happy.
Yeah.
I wish can you imagine we were at I was there for the game and I didn't realize it. The New Orleans game where they were throwing touchdowns, all those $4 fireball shots that were going up in the air.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
that was nice.
it's you got to stop the run. Also, you got to stop Darren McFadden. Don't let him get
Yeah.
going.
Dez Bryant.
Shut down Dez. Shut down. The person who concerns me the most is Jason Witten because
Yeah.
the Redskins tight linebackers. Perry
not-
Riley has come along the past couple weeks. He got some interceptions now.
Compton has played pretty good when he has played, when he has been in there.
So
as a starter.
we just gotta keep it moving, keep the momentum going. You beat the Giants, you got first place. Keep it rolling. Don't let the Giants are in. They could possibly lose to the Jets. I personally think they are going to lose to the Jets. We'll get into our picks in a minute. But if the Giants lose, take advantage of it. Philly's not trending in the right direction. Chip Kelly may be on his way out of Philadelphia.
Right. But
That's for a whole nother discussion.
Yeah. But the biggest thing, the biggest number one thing the Redskins have to do is play with a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
No,
that has to be done.
No, that.
Don't turn over the ball.
Go for the
You
dagger.
haven't said that already.
Go for the dagger and win the beat Dallas and let the rest of the division know. Look, we're here. Kirk's got to let them know I'm for real. Kirk wants the money. Prove that you're worth the money. Prove that you're a starting quarterback. Because I tell you what, all these people there are, and it still amazes me how people will still come on radios like 106.7 and say, "Well, RG3." Really? You're really? Did you hear? I think their producer's name is Matt Valdez or something.
Yeah.
They were talking to him, and they said anytime he said he got an RG3 call, he hung up on him. He didn't even let them get on the air. He said as soon as he heard RG, he was hanging up the phones on callers. But it still amazes me how people will still say RG3 would have this team at a better record. Are you effing kidding me?
No way.
Are you kidding me?
See, the thing is that with what we were talking about before is like how you kind of always expect the Redskins in the past to kind of let you down, right? The only thing that is this season is that
They did right.
under Kirk's leadership or whatever.
Has worked.
it's been working. And like every time I thought they would the other team is starting to catch up, I'm like, here we go again. Look
Look at what he did against the Buccaneers. Look at the comeback.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think honestly, if RG3 is playing, I don't think they're in first place right now. I think they're where Dallas is at.
I think what you're also looking at here, and I could be wrong, and I'm wrong a lot of times anyway, is that you're seeing getting into a comfort zone with the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach who runs the offense too. It seems like they're getting into a comfort area where everybody's the same page, and that's what Gruden. People say he should be gone after this year and everything. Well, forget about that. But they're getting into what they think is their comfort area, what they can do, what they can't do, okay, and what they have to improve on. And, even if the season goes and they get like that, then Kurt has to get it during the year. If he comes back, signs a contract, you have to get in that mode. What do I need to improve on? And that's what I work on in the off season. If you do that, you will be better the following year. And you'll get your money if you don't already have it.
Right. Well, here's the difference between the two quarterbacks that we were talking about, with the coach and everything. Kurt is the type of quarterback that Jay Gruden likes. He mimics. He plays a lot like Andy Dalton. I don't know if you two can agree on that. Yeah. Plays like Andy Dalton a lot, and that's what he wants. RG3 is not his type of quarterback. Never was. He wanted his guy, and his guy was always Kurt. Now, Kurt struggled last year, maybe the first year because he was learning the offense and everything. He had a lot of injuries last year too. Then people say, well, RG3 had the same. RG3's had the same line Kurt has last year, and RG3 still got sacked more.
I mean, how many times has a rookie quarterback come in and just like blasted his way through? And I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but that's really special quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Everyone thought RG was, and then RG3 was like, well, I want to be a pocket passer. No, you idiot.
Well, you saw that the first year. You saw RG. You saw
Colin
Kaepernick.
Okay. Wilson.
And Russell Wilson.
Wilson's the only one who's really maintained himself. Kaepernick got benched.
If you catch a little bit, and that's even with the Seahawks this year, that Wilson has struggled at times. Okay? Kaepernick now is
Benched.
not the starter.
Right.
Okay? He's lost some of his fizz. Okay? And you, any other quarterbacks that came in when they did are probably just now getting their feet under
the
them.
counter the Russell Wilson argument is they had a damn good defense those 2 years.
Well, they
in
had
the Super Bowl.
good defense. They lost a few
it was like
off of that defense.
It was like the Ravens. I mean,
right.
They had a good defense. I mean, Ravens won the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. You
know,
don't need a big-time quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
All you need is an offense that's consistent, and you can protect the quarterback. You got Marshawn Lynch, good running attack for them. So that protects, Wilson. Okay? And the last couple games, he has had some good passing games. I mean, hell, whoever had him on the fantasy last week probably just ate up everything.
You know who didn't and really wants to kill me because I gave her advice? My wife. She lost by 3 points, and
That's
Wilson
why
was
she-
on her bench.
Oh no.
That's
She
why
looked at
she
me and
left
she
you
was
and
like,
went to
who should I
Cincinnati.
start? I was like, well, everything lined up perfect for Brian Hoyer to unload on the Saints.
Yeah,
So,
you did call that.
And then that didn't happen. But so I mean, we're gonna get more of the Redskins Cowboys on Monday. Obviously, we're gonna do a full breakdown of the game. We'll do key matchups and everything. You're gonna see a full-fledged breakdown, professional breakdown. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can I throw in my Monday night history with the Cowboys?
You
and
can
the
do that on
Redskins?
Monday. You said you're not gonna be able to show up Monday.
I'm gonna try.
I think you should try now.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
It's a big show.
I'm gonna try.
It's a really big show.
Hey, what happened to Alfred Blue? Is he injured or something?
No.
He just sucks.
Oh, he got a couple points from me. So Martellus Bennett over Alfred Blue in the flex spot.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or-
yeah. But, I mean,
yeah, okay.
remember who's Chicago playing this week? 49ers.
Where do you get Chicago from Martarius
Where's
Bryant?
Bennett? You
Oh,
said
Bennett. I think you said
Bryant.
Bryant.
Did you say Bennett?
Brennan or Bryant?
Bennett. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
Bennett.
Well,
All right. While Paul's looking that over, you all want to do our picks?
so
That sounds good with me.
Paul, ready for the picks?
Yes.
Skins Cowboys. I'm taking Skins. Paul,
Skins.
Coach,
Skins.
Christian.
Skins.
What?
Is that the first time we all unanimously vote for the Redskins?
That's 4
I think
dings if
so.
you were counting.
And I'm sure Cordova would pick the Skins, so I'm just gonna put him down just because I want to. Falcons or Bucks? I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. Paul,
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Christian.
I'm going with Atlanta on this one.
Coach.
Let's see. Bucks beat them the first time, right? This is the second time they played.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons.
Jets, Giants. I'm gonna go with Jets. Christian,
I'm gonna go with the Giants on this one.
Paul,
Giants.
Coach.
Who's the home team? They're both playing. They're playing in New York.
Oh,
I mean,
why was that supposed to be a sarcastic trick question? Because I actually was thinking to myself for a minute, who's the home team?
They all both play at MetLife.
Giants.
Oh, well, I mean, all right.
We're trying to give you the lead in the thing.
Seahawks or Vikings? I'm gonna go with the Vikings over the Seahawks. Paul,
Seahawk. What did you say? Seahawk.
Vikings.
Vikings. Or what's their? I don't know anything about those things.
Vikings only have 2 losses. Seahawks, I think, like 4 or something.
Yeah, we'll go with Vikings.
Vikings are winning their division, I think.
Yeah, right now they're in first place in the North Division.
Coach,
Seahawks.
Christian,
Seattle.
are these the same pitch you did for our thing too? At work?
I haven't made my picks yet.
Okay. Watch it. You'll have the Vikings on there or something.
Nah.
Colts or Steelers? I'm gonna go Steelers. Paul,
Steelers. Yeah.
Coach.
Let's see. Who's Jarvis Landry is quarterbacking for the Steelers?
Mm-hmm. Or no, I think Ben may be back. They haven't announced yet.
Ben doesn't know. Steelers.
Christian.
Steelers.
By the way, do you know the Redskins are favorites to sweep by 3 points?
Really?
4 points, I think. 4 points.
I don't know when's the last time that happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been a while. Maybe the first game. Maybe were they the favorites against the Dolphins?
Hey, is Devontae Freeman out?
I think he's playing.
I think he's back this week. Yeah.
Should I start? I have to start him, right?
What league is this?
I would definitely start him.
Lose. I want you to lose.
This is this is your league, or the Shipe Sports Talk League.
Remember, don't forget everyone to check out the Shipe Sports Talk DraftKings league. You can actually look it up by my username, RedDogs423. Look it up that way, and it's like I said, 50-person, $1 entry. First place 22, second place 13, third place 9. So look for that. That'd be a fun thing to do. Compete against me, Coach, Christian, and Paul. Once those 2 make accounts.
Okay, Ted Ginn. How do you say?
Ted Ginn Jr.
I go with Ted Ginn.
Ted King Jr. over John Brown.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
playing against New Orleans.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I think I'm good to go then.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, just from the show, prayers out to all the victims involved in the tragedy over in California yesterday.
Yes,
That was
our
a very
prayers
sad,
with them.
very sad tragedy in America. So I mean, you just hate when something like that happens. We just had France, now this. So just
Yeah.
people in California know America's behind you. We're all with you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know? I saw a stat today that we've had more mass shootings than we've had days in the year.
And when this year?
This year.
This year, yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Mhm.
I guess we don't hear about
Or-
some of them.
It's almost more mass or the killings.
Is it the killing?
I think it's
Maybe
the I think
I
the
think-
killings from mass shootings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
that's
a lot of mass shooting. I think it's the killing from mass shooting.
Yeah, there's a
that's-
lot of the killings. It goes back to
They're wearing their regular uniforms tonight.
thank God.
I think that was only a couple week thing.
Maybe that was a November thing.
They better keep that.
You know
just
what?
November.
I think it was like supposed to be like something for military issue or something like that. I think.
I think it
I
was.
thought I saw. Do you think I saw something like that?
I don't know. I just don't think you could put Green Bay and Detroit in those color uniforms they've had the last couple of weeks.
Well, Detroit was almost looked like Tennessee's almost.
Yeah.
Green Bay, they probably putting all yellow.
That's only wrong.
No, it says it. 152 mass shootings, 160 what, and 1,000.
No, but I think that does mean like
Deaths?
Deaths, yeah.
Okay.
Actually. Mhm.
That's a lot.
Or maybe not even deaths. It might even be actually like injured and
That's a
whatever.
lot. That's a lot.
And deaths combined, but that's
It's-
crazy.
It's way too many. Way
Yeah.
too many.
And just that's a whole nother political
Well, it's
topic.
just
We don't get into that on this show.
Yeah, everybody else out there, just be safe.
Yeah, I get in
Know your
trouble.
surroundings.
We get into that, I get in trouble on here.
Dude, last night it was super windy outside, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And at like 3:00 in the morning, the alarm went off.
Mm.
I got up and I was like, I usually keep a bat near my bed on my side, and it wasn't there, so I was just like, what do I do? So I just ran downstairs, and the thing's like back door, and I'm thinking like down here back door. But then I forgot that in the middle level there's that one door. But what happened is that Lukey earlier in the day was throwing like vegetables, like old vegetables, out for like the deers and the whatever. And
He didn't shut the door all the way.
he didn't like lock it or shut it all the way, so the wind blew and it opened it up. I came up, I was ready to like just clobber somebody. You know, I'm like looking all the way around, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well it's this back door, not like the basement door, dude.
Right.
But what was going through my head was just like, you know, somebody with a gun or something like that, and like I couldn't find my bat, so I was like you know, ready
Take
to just
Call of Duty.
I was
Yeah.
basically.
Funny story with an alarm, real quick. You know, all this non-sports related. My work, I do a welfare check. Like if someone hasn't seen like their family in a while, I'll go inside their home. Do you remember this? The alarm.
Yeah.
So I go inside the house, and they don't put on the little sheet. They have an alarm in the house. As soon as I walk in, front door, garage door, front. I'm like, oh god.
Oh,
So I'm
man.
looking for the person in the house. No one's home, obviously. And then here comes the security system call, and I said, yeah, one was later. They're like, oh, well, we're still have to send someone out just because we can't verify. I'm like,
Yeah.
so here they come, and I'm just like, here's my work ID. No one's in the house. So
Put your hands in the air.
I'm like, I'm ready to get tased in my jobs. And then the woman who owns the house got pissed at me because I let her dog out the room, first of all, which I think the dog was thrilled because when I tried to put him back in the room, he didn't want to go back in. And I didn't leave a note. I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm going to remember this house. Next time there's a welfare check, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
I'll let your alarm just sit there.
Let you rot.
But that thing went off, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, why?
I was so scared, dude. I mean, not scared. I was just pumped. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
no,
right.
for
Something
me,
like that house, I sent my wife down first.
see, for me, they live in a retirement community gated. You would think, you wouldn't think you need an alarm on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God, yesterday they made me walk the entire fence line of my job. About 4 miles. In the rain. Nonetheless.
I was witness.
Yeah, I walk into his gate after walking probably the 3 miles, and I'm ready to pass out on the floor.
Is that a regular thing you have to do?
No, it's because some people have been coming in through the gate, so they're trying to find where the hole's at in the gate. So I just like, all right, it's just in this one area, and then they're like, no, you got to walk the entire thing. And you know, you've seen how big the Leisure World is.
It's humongous.
So 3 miles. It's just the
3-mile radius.
the major roadway itself is 3 miles, but that's not including going to the back where the fence is at and having to walk out. And never again am I volunteering
Who'd
for
you
that.
piss off?
Yeah, that's
I don't know. That's what happens when you're the extra guy there.
The person that gets that is the low man be below.
Hey, but
the
that's
totem
okay.
pole.
Hey, it took 4 hours out of my day, so it was a nice little relaxed day where just walking. I wish I had my headphones though to listen to.
There you go.
So I guess that's it for today.
Don't forget Monday.
Yeah, Monday, look for us at Buffalo Wings and Beer in Germantown, Maryland, at the Kingsview Shopping Center on the corner of Clopper and Great Seneca. Doesn't that sound so nice when I say it like that? Just
Yeah.
sounds so professionalism, doesn't it?
yes, it does.
We'll be there from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Kickoff for the wrestling game is at 8:30. And also like to mention Buffalo Wings and Beer is a sponsor of the show. Great place, great wing variety. You can mix up wings. You can enjoy my favorite, the rooster and garlic flavor. They have a great beer selection for every touchdown. I think it's $4 fireball shots. Don't quote me, but I think that's what Ira said.
Yeah, I was up there. We had dinner up there Tuesday night. Great dinner. Sandwich we had. And
Service is
service
great.
was great.
You know what you got to try is you got to try the chicken Philly. The chicken Philly.
Is it pretty good?
Oh, it's probably one of my
You know,
favorites.
also
Even
good?
the Philly cheesesteak
They have
is great.
fried Twinkies and fried Oreos for
Yeah.
dessert.
Really?
Yeah.
You know that when
I feel like Chris Farley.
we've
when I
been friends
first-
with him for a long time. So
Mhm.
like when he started getting these ideas for these desserts or whatever,
Mhm.
we would start just frying pretty much everything. So there was like 3 months that we would come in every Wednesday with just something to fry. We did Hostess cupcakes. We did peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That-
that's
that-
just,
that was my
that's
idea.
just gross.
No.
No,
Was it
not
amazing?
gross. It was amazing. No, it wasn't even. So we would we'd just get like pancake batter,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'd dip it in the pancake batter, and then just kind of like flash fry it,
It was good?
basically. Oh my god, it was delicious. But we did so many different things, and then eventually we landed on the Oreos
And the Twinkies.
and the Twinkies. But my favorite was actually the Hostess cupcake. It was like the orange flavored ones. That was probably
Yes.
my
Well,
favorite.
yes,
Go out there
yes.
for the great desserts. Over 24 televisions. They have, I think, was it 4 pool tables there?
yeah.
4 pool
At
tables.
least,
They have a dartboard, that little golf game that everyone plays in bars.
Mhm.
So it's a great place to watch games. We went on Sunday, the one Sunday we went, the service was tremendous. I mean, I think we had about 4 waitresses
Yeah.
at one table. And I'm like, we're all sitting there like, so who gets the tip when we leave?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a great place. It's a great place to go, especially on Sundays. But definitely come out for the Redskins Cowboys game. Like I said, we'll be there from 6:30 to 8, taking you right up to kickoff. An entire show dedicated to the Redskins versus Cowboys. We'll do breakdowns of matchups. So I'm gonna let Paul take it away.
Right. So don't forget, you can catch every single episode podcast on our website, which is www.shipesportstalk.com. You could also find us on all of the social media outlets, just Shipe Sports Talk. That's Twitter, Facebook. Is that it? Oh, yeah, and then the email. You can email us if you'd like at shipesportstalk@gmail.com. Yeah, so let us know if you have any questions, or if you follow our Facebook when we're doing a live show. Just go ahead and you can tweet us, post on the Facebook post itself. And would be sure to actually address your questions or comments or whatever like that. So I think I got everything right. Did I say everything?
Yep, you got
I
everything.
believe so, yeah.
So
Sounded good.
for myself, Paul, Christian, Coach, and Chris Cordova, who's not here today. He's enjoying the beautiful
He's on
weather.
the beach.
He's on
Cancun.
at the beach sipping some margaritas, I bet.
Oh,
I hope
man.
so.
He said one day he was drinking nonstop. So
Lucky guy.
please join us 6:30 on Monday at Buffalo Wings and Beer in Germantown, Maryland for the Redskins Cowboys preview show. So everyone have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend, and
Enjoy some football.
God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Sign up.
Tighten up.